My name is Carson. Welcome to Thrifty Garage, a channel where we do everyday repairs, how-tos, and reviews. And in today's video, we'll be doing a repair on this PJ dump trailer. Anybody that's ever used a dump trailer has probably had this happen to them. This has happened several times, and it has led us to this point of repair. But what happens when you're using a dump trailer, you open up these tailgate doors, you swing them out, and it's supposed to lock back here. Well, sometimes when you're dumping, you're tipped up in the air, that gravity, they'll come unlatched, whether that's a chain or a bar, or in this case, we've got pins that are supposed to go through right here, come unhooked, and then the door swings open, and as you're driving forward, that door is acting like an anchor, and as it's running through the ground, it's trying to be pulled out of the ground, and as it does that, it messes up this hinge. So both of these hinge, for whatever reasons, have been damaged the most. The other side's actually in pretty good condition, but this last time, this weld, or this piece of metal plate right here for this hinge completely broke off, and this latch mechanism that's supposed to go right here broke off entirely. So let's bring in here for a closer look. So you can see here how much this broke. I mean, this metal is severely strained. You know, when you bend metal back and forth, it gets stressed out, and you can just kind of see the cracks and ripples through all of this metal as it's been heated up and repaired multiple times in order to get this door back in place. And then here's where we have that old piece. You know, looking at this, actually, this weld up top here was not that great. This weld on the side here was not that great. This weld on the bottom did break off a piece of this metal. So it was not the best weld to begin with, especially on this piece, which is what broke this last time. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna probably just cut off, we'll have to cut off all this weld material, clean it up, weld this hinge to here. It's not gonna be pretty. I did look up a new hinge for this trailer, and the hinge is about $20, and then this latch system is about $20. But I did find a bar. Rather, I found some 1.5", I believe this is square tubing here, and a pretty good size diameter, and it should work out perfect. Replace that, and I think I'm actually just going to leave it in a square form, pull it out, we'll drill through the top of it, down the bottom, and then put our new pin through there. I did order some parts from PJ a while back, and they accidentally sent a new pin system for this, so that will work out pretty nice. Let's go to the other side and show you kind of what we're comparing this against. Okay, so here's how it's supposed to look, or close to. This has seen some damage. In fact, where this pin goes, you can see how much that is wallered out and enlarged. So over time, it's had strain on it, which has pulled out this tab right here. So this tab is supposed to be right back here, and it's probably pulled out 1/4 of an inch. And then this way, it's probably close to 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch pulled out. But this, you can see this hinge has had some damage as well. This bar should be straight, but it's kind of got a little crook in there. So that did bend at one point in time. And but this whole channel thing is in pretty good condition. This pin system is pretty good. And I think what happened on the other side, what caused it to fail, is over time, this little locking piece will work its way down, and then it's holding this whole assembly up higher, and then when it rolls over here to latch into here, it's just barely inside there, and so when it tips up and the trailer goes in the air, there's not, just the very tip of this is holding on, it falls out, and you can see even this one, with how much looseness there is there, that definitely probably doesn't help. First things first, we will clean up the welds. So this, when this broke, this pulled out. You can kind of see as we look in here, there's a dimple pulling out in the square tubing. So we're just trying to fix that. and then we will cut this to size, drill it out, make room for this pin. Weld it up, put it together, and should be good to go. Okay, let's take a look at these side by side. Here on the left, we've got the PJ weld. I did clean this up and paint it again. We've got the original clasp, which is got some extra give in it. And here on the right is one we just fabricated and welded. This one does have a little bit more material here because we left that square box in there. But overall, it's pretty much the same. I would say my welds are just as good, if not better, than what was there before, considering the fact that the welds go all the way around. This extra weld over here does kind of add strength to this hinge, which is a little bit messed up as well. Let's go ahead and replace this guy while we're in here, since PJ did send me this box on accident when I ordered some other parts. So we've got an extra spring and an extra pin. This pin's been painted a couple times as we've done little spray paint patch ups. So I'm going to pop this out and then reuse the washer and then put a new spring in here. These tend to get mushroomed out, so I'm going to go ahead and smash this down just so it has a little bit more force when we hammer this in. Good as new. Go ahead and do the same thing on this other side. Should be good. Still a little bit tacky from paint. Voila. I'm actually gonna should have test fit that before, but I'm going to clearance that real quick. Looks like we got making a little bit of contact right there. I take that back. We're actually hitting down here on this bar, right there. Let's bring it in here. Right there makes contact, so this little corner is hitting, and the reason for that is, as you can see, here, this hinge is bent, and what that makes happen is this hinge is closer to the door, so as it swings in, it's closer to this corner. So I'm still gonna just nip off that corner, and that should help resolve that. You know, it's kind of a bummer. When I was looking at this, I was like, you know, we got a lot of clearance here between this and this. We probably could have moved this down lower on the hinge. But I kind of just told myself, oh, you know, PJ knows what they're doing. They must have done that on purpose. But this end here just barely goes in there. And we're pretty much fully seated there because we hit that curve right there. So it locks. It locks really good. I'm pulling on it real good and it's not going anywhere, so we'll see how that flies. I don't know what the long-term fix is for this door. I think it's just going to keep getting worse. I think this is a pretty common problem for most dump trailer doors. Leave down in the comments any feedback, any tips or tricks you have for what you've done with your dump trailers, you know, on these hinges where they just keep getting messed up. We can buy new doors, we can buy new hinges, we can buy new latches. We can cut them off and weld on everything new. I mean, this, you know, took quite a bit of time, you know, to fabricate that up. You know, it's hard to separate the time to fabricate versus the time to weld on a new one. I mean, you know, the fabrication of that probably took maybe 25% of the time. I mean, this is probably a couple-hour project, all said and done, getting everything fired up and started. And you know, I don't do welding all the time, so I'm not just ready to buzz it in and go. But you know, I don't know what a trailer shop would have charged to fix that, or a welding shop, but it's fixed now. The door works great. Hopefully we're trouble free for a while. Well, thanks for watching the Thrifty Garage video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. And yes, we're going to paint this little tab off that we scraped. See you next time.